Hello, I'm King Link, and we've come to the end of another month, and it's time for another Humble Monthly Bundle Early Unlock Wrap-Up, or whatever I'm going to title this as. Like always, I try to review these games, looking at them as full-price experiences, but with players getting these games for $12 in the Humble Monthly Bundle, it does change the value proposition quite a bit, especially this month. Now, this month we've had only two early unlocks, Kingdom Come Deliverance and Surviving Mars. They're very different games, but they're also interesting choices. Let's start with Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's probably not a surprise as it's already playing on the screen. Honestly, Kingdom Come Deliverance is a great Humble Monthly Bundle game. If you were curious about this game previously or wondering about it, $12 is an extremely good deal. If you already have it, you can of course always give it as a gift, and this is a great $60 title. While I'm not a huge fan or completely sold on it, I can say that I had a fantastic time playing it. I put in about 20 hours, and honestly, well, admittedly, if it wasn't for the review site, I probably would have put in even more. It's been a very busy month for me with work and everything, but also, Kingdom Come Deliverance is a massive game. Now, I will say that it is an acquired taste. This isn't your typical RPG that you might expect. This isn't Skyrim or Final Fantasy. If there's one word that really summarizes Kingdom Come Deliverance, it's realism. While much of the skills are realistic in their growth or actions that you take to get it, so is the town and the process that you have to go through. You know, something as simple as having to go get something at a store, you have to walk over to the right store, find it usually, get the item, drag it back to the quest giver, and yes, you do that in all games, but this you take a substantial amount of time to do rather than walk to the next building in the shop. There's actually even decay and everything for perishable items and more. It's an interesting game, and I did enjoy playing it as a non-violent player. That's what I was going for. I gathered helpers rather than waged war and battle if I could, and I got stuck at a point later because of that, but I spent over 20 good hours with the game, and most players, you know, if you're going to beat this game, it's going to be at least 40 hours, probably closer to 80, especially if you get hooked into side quests, and I know people who have said that they've pushed at least 200 hours into Kingdom Come, so yes, getting it at $12 is a steal, especially if you like value propositions or quantity over quality, even though the quality of this game is really high. And even if you don't love it, well, you're going to find a lot of enjoyment out of it in some manner. I personally gave it a 3.5 out of 5, but definitely worth the $12, especially if this is your cup of tea. Now, Surviving Mars is the other early unlock. It's an interesting game with a city or a base builder, but I'll be honest, I don't know if I should really recommend Surviving Mars. You know, it's fine to take a look at, and it takes a long time to finish a game. If you're going to play one game only, it's about 10 hours. That's what my full playthrough took me, and at least that took me through the mystery of the game, which seems to be the big piece. Now, there's more to do in the game beyond just this, but it's weaker work in my opinion, building out a tech tree that just kind of exists, trying to grow your colony as much as you can. But the big thing to me is that there wasn't an ultimate goal. You just play Surviving Mars and try to survive, just to play it, you know? Collecting resources is more an interesting idea, but ultimately, you know, personally, I just don't know. There's a large mystery, like I said, that becomes the focus of each run, especially near the end or wherever it happens. But after completing the mystery, I had a choice between continuing playing the current game or restarting the game from scratch for another mystery. Now, the fact that it would take almost 10 hours to see another mystery, and these being the big pieces of the game, you know, personally, I went to play something else. I'm not really sure about Surviving Mars, and I'm sure some people will enjoy it. The price is good for it, and there's some interesting systems to play here, but ultimately, you know, I don't see myself playing more of this stuff past the 10-ish or so hours I've spent with it. But I did give Surviving Mars a 3 out of 5, so do with that what you will, and that was at full price. So that's a quick look at both of these games, but how is the bundle overall? Well, I think I said it, but Kingdom Come Deliverance alone is probably worth checking out, especially at $12. If you like that game, you're going to get a ton of content, and it'll really entertain you. Even if you think it's acceptable or okay, there's a lot of things that you can do in the game that doesn't revolve around combat or skills, so even the realism isn't necessary. On the other hand, Surviving Mars, yeah, I don't know, but I don't like it personally, but if you really love city and base builders, it's fine, you know, nothing wrong with it, but to me, it's just fine. And finally, as always, they will be releasing additional games. I never recommend people to bank on what those are because we really don't know. But there'll be at least 6 smaller games that come with it, maybe something big. Hopefully, can't tell you for sure. And those are always fun to see what happens when those get released. Now, personally, as I've said last month, we'll give these games a strong, medium, or weak evaluation. And this month, well, I think Humble Monthly Bundle for August 2019 gets a strong recommendation. Now, this is exactly what I like to look for in a Humble Monthly Bundle. You know, a big, major title that has a lot of content, but not everyone has played already. That's Kingdom Come Deliverance. A secondary game that's a little more experimental or different. And honestly, this month, that is what I see with Surviving Mars. And essentially, both of those games together makes it a great Humble Monthly Bundle. So, another good month, I think. With that said, though, well, that's a great month. If you want to hear more about either game, you can check the links. Hopefully, they'll be on the screen in a few seconds. And if you've enjoyed this or want to be the first to see what I think about the Humble Monthly Bundle for next month, it's my birthday month, so I'm hoping it's going to be a big one. I'll have previews for all of those after the early unlocks release. Subscribe and ring the bell to be the first to check those out. Until then, I'm King Link, and thank you for watching.